It's a singular work that spans the whole length, and at its heart is a story of an individual Martian from thousands of years in the future. And the Martians are the remnants of humanity, having moved to a new planet, having pretty much broken this one. So this individual Martian travels back with a robotic companion. She's there mainly for the heavy lifting. And interspersed throughout his quite simple story, he goes back to search, to do tests, or just to break things like a frustrated child when they don't go his way, being that there's no one there to reprimand him if he does. Interspersed throughout that singular story are these creation myths and little stories, folk tales, like children's stories or nursery rhymes even. Some of them are nursery rhymes. But the crucial aspect of that is that's what the Martian would have grown up with. This is set many thousands of years from our present time, so into the future, where over these many, many generations, the human race has changed to fit this new habitat. But at its heart is this story, is this individual. And when I finally came round to sort of putting all my notes together and creating the work itself, that was the thing that most intrigued me. It was the character of this Martian, this very flawed individual from a flawed society, so it's not entirely his fault, but like all individuals, with that capacity for change, to realize that within himself. Whether he takes that opportunity to change is another matter, but it's there, and perhaps cut off from his society. It gives him an opportunity to look at that and explore that. So there's a lot of quite intense thinking I do. I know what I want from a work, so I usually sit down in a very quiet room and I'll just push my thinking, and I'll know that it's like, that's not enough, keep pushing forward, keep pushing until I sort of break through the sort of fuzzy thinking of daily life. I make a lot of notes, certainly for this work. Every book I do, it's a different approach based on what the work is. But this one, over those 10 years or so, was just adding to these notes bit by bit by bit, creating, really for me, a whole idea of the history of what would need to happen, of all the necessary scientific aspects, even of what type of space flight there would be, the biological aspects. A lot of that, when I finally came to writing, was actually stripped back. So I needed to know how it all worked. But then by doing it through these folk tales and mythology, I could change the way. I could slip those details in without sort of laboring on them and giving you all those sort of the finer points of scientific evolutionary processes. But hopefully it's all there, but through this veil of storytelling. I'm always very interested to see what people are going to make of it, and also worried because I know that the work, from the title itself, is like, what is this? But I'm always surprised at the reactions I get. I'm always surprised that people actually like it. I think I expect that, I've made it how I want it, but it's not for me. It's always made for other people who I don't know. I don't know how they're going to react to it. And so it's sort of a surprise and a delight when people react to it well, especially when they start saying things about it. I think, oh, that must have come through then. It's sort of really gladdening to know that those little details do actually push their way through. And hopefully it's because I've put them in the right way.